This is the 19th annual Sarasota Film Festival, and one thing that you may have noticed by now, because this is day 7, is that there are a variety of people here presenting their films, directors, producers, and also actors and actresses. Tonight we're focusing on the students of Booker High School, the very young, who have put together a premiere of a film that covers what teen court is all about, because there's a big difference between adults when they go to trial and teenagers, and there are special concerns for those very young. This is Judge Charles Williams of the 12th Judicial Circuit, and the judge is going to tell us a little bit about his involvement with the movie.
Actually, I'm more of a facilitator in terms of getting the Booker High School students involved in the Sarasota Film Festival. So tonight is the debut of their film Redirection, which tells the story of teen court. They have produced, directed, and written it. It's entirely student run. They're going to walk the red carpet in a few minutes. They're very excited about that. I'm looking out, I'm seeing the directors here and some other students, so everybody's happy to be here.
How is a teen court different from an adult court?
Well, teen court is basically a diversion program. It's set up to prevent people from having to go through the criminal justice system at a young age. Basically what happens is if you're caught for a minor offense, you have the option of taking teen court versus going into the juvenile system. The advantage of going through teen court is that you don't come out with a record. Most people don't understand that even if you go through the juvenile criminal justice system, you will have a record. If you go through teen court, if you complete it successfully, you won't have a record, and that's a big deal as you get older.
And is there a greater success of children that have gone through this, or teenagers that have gone through teen court, with not going out there and offending again?
Absolutely. The recidivism rate is very low. Those that go through the teen court program rarely ever get in trouble again. Compared to the regular system, there's really no comparison. So I would say it's probably got close to a 95% success rate.
It sounds like a recipe for success.
It's a great program, and this film will tell a lot about it.
Thanks for all you do, Judge.
All right, thank you.
I got this feeling.
So we have the motion designer, the cinematographer, and 2 of the directors right now on the red carpet. Please give them a healthy round of applause for what they did for the Booker Film Academy this year. The festival has worked together in partnership with Booker High School since 2014 on the Booker Film Academy. We're very excited to see the development of these young filmmakers and watch as they grow and create their motion designs and their academy projects as we get to screen them in the Hollywood 20 every year.
Claudio Otero is 18 years old, and he's also the director of the Booker High School documentary Redirection. And this movie is premiering tonight. This is a very exciting night for you. How does it feel to be on the red carpet?
It feels amazing. I think it's a great chance that we all got here, my Booker High School crew and I. You know, it's amazing.
Why were you compelled to direct this particular documentary?
Well, at first, I would like to say I was set up as first AD, but I was doing so well that they felt that I was qualified to be a director. So I moved up in the ranks, and I think that it's great. It was an amazing experience for both myself and everyone else.
Have you directed any kind of a documentary before?
No, ma'am. This is my first time being a director of a documentary, and it's amazing. Great experience.
So how did you work with the court system? Because it's unusual. These are young people that are going through a court system with a real judge, but the jury is different. How is the jury different in a teen court for teenagers?
The jury is different because we're all more understanding, I would like to say. We've all been through the same. Everyone that's in teen court has a knowledge or background of what these teens have gone through. It's more, I would like to say, less harsh.
But the jury, is it a jury of adults
It's part. Some of them can be volunteers, some of them can be the students themselves. So it's half and half, I would like to say.
So really, it's the young students that are part of the jury that make this particular court different from a court for adults.
Yes, ma'am, it really does. It sets it apart by a lot.
As a director, did you notice that when the teen jurors were passing whatever the sentence might be, right? When they were giving what they felt the student should be doing, was it different from what you felt maybe an adult jurors might have done?
Oh, most definitely. I would like to say, like I said before, it's way less harsh, the punishment-wise. It's more community service hours rather than an actual conviction on their record for the rest of their life. So that Teen Court's an amazing program for doing that and helping out teens. So
thank you for your efforts on this film.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Erica Jessen co-directed Redirection with Claudio Arteta. How was this experience for you? Was this your first time co-directing or directing of any kind?
This was the first time having a project that was completely the students. Sometimes we'll have help from our teachers, but this one was fully student-made.
What was the experience like for you being surrounded by your Booker High School student friends?
It was fun. We all worked super well together. This is the first time I've really seen us come together and make a project, and it just turned out amazing.
What do you hope that people that are seeing this at the films tonight take away from this or learn from this?
I hope they see that kids our age sometimes do mistakes, make mistakes, and that's completely okay.
And what about the way that the teen court system works with the students as opposed to a regular court? Because there is a difference.
When I interviewed everybody, it was amazing to see how much the people working with teen court actually cared about the students, and it just showed that they can do this and the students can redirect themselves to get better.
So you think it's a successful program that should be continued?
Absolutely.
And do you think we should put this kind of programming in for other people in life?
Absolutely. I think adults should also have the chance to kind of redirect themselves.
Thank you for your interview.
Thank you.
I choose the shots and the angles, like where the camera's going to be placed and set up. That's what a cinematographer does, and I was the guy for that.
So you basically did the staging for this production?
Yes, I basically did the staging.
Have you done this before?
I would say yes, I have, because in previous events with the Sarasota Film Festival, like Newtown and Diversity SRQ, I was a part of those as well. So I kind of got more experience this time because it was more of a hands-on thing.
So you probably have a little bit more experience than some of your fellow students that are at Booker.
Yes, we're all we're learning from each other, I would say. So one person would know more than I do, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Thank you so much for helping me. So it's a learning process, and we all, I don't know, I'll just say click.
I organized the people that were going to do the graphics and got the main idea down and told them what to animate and did a couple of the animations myself.
So how did the animations fit in with Teen Court? Did you use it for transitions to go from one scene to another, or was it interjected with cartoonish characters? Explain.
We did kind of both. We used the animations to tie in certain information that you really needed to know, and then we also used transitions to get two people, two different shots, and make them flow into each other really nicely.
How do transitions help to change the mood of a film that you're seeing, through a visual medium?
Transitions really gave it a pop, a wow, whoa, what are they doing? And showed our skills in animation more.
So you guys worked together as a team on this?
Yeah, we had a whole group of animators and a whole group of directors, and we had everything laid out in everyone's roles. So
now with your picking out the locations for the cinematography, what were some of the challenges that you found during this?
Some of the challenges I would say is lighting. So finding the right spot, making sure it's not no shadows in the background or anything, and making a really appealing view to the viewer so it wouldn't be too distracting, I would say.
Do you find that many times people aren't quite aware that one of the things that takes the longest to do when you're filming something is to set up the shot?
Yes, I feel like a lot of people are not aware. I feel like they just think, oh, just get a camera and go. It's not that easy.
And it's not that easy also when you're using the graphics to pull everything together, because you probably shoot the video first, and then you have to figure out what works with that video. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, we got our information and wrote everything down that we really need to touch on, and then it was hard to incorporate it in, but we managed to do it, so.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing your film.
Thanks.
All right. Amanda, what did you do on the movie and why did you do it?
I was a part of graphics, and I was also one of the people that helped with promotion and advertising, since when I grew up I wanted to be a part of public relations.
What did you learn from this film about public relations from working on this documentary?
Well, actually, that's a really great question. With public relations, you have to experience and get the word out of the events that you are a part of, and you have to be a really well-spoken person, and you have to be a people person. You have to go out and you have to make a name for yourself.
So it's all about contacts and who you know.
Correct.
Great. We hope to see you out in Sarasota. We hope that you young people actually stick around after you graduate.
Yes, for sure. Thank you.
Harrison, tell me a little bit about what you did on the film.
I was the first assistant director on the film, the first AD. So what I sort of did was get it all together, mainly around post-production, but also in pre and production. So yes, so yeah, it was a very long process of getting everyone together and making sure that they were doing their job, and it was all worth it at the end because it was just a very rewarding experience.
But very often with a film, if you come from Hollywood, a first AD or a first assistant director is somebody that actually gets the instructions from the director, and then what they do is they run around and they yell at everybody to make sure that they're getting it. So give me an example of something that might have happened like that.
All right, so we sort of have the directors handling a lot of the contact information, and so did Ms. Baxter over there. She also helped around with getting everything together. But also it was the research and time put into the animation that really needed to be focused on. So in order to get those statistics, we had to talk with the two directors that were in charge, which were Claudia Arteta and Erica Jessen. And they both provided enough information for me to contact the below-the-line positions so that they could work on the projects.
And you've obviously been to dailies. You watched your work every day.
Yes, for sure. We worked about 4.5 hours every single day for 2 months, and then sometimes we stayed after school, and that lasted throughout the weekend. That lasted almost every day for a couple hours, and there was actually one particular Saturday we were there all day trying to wrap this up.
Well, we hope that you guys get to reap the rewards of your hard work and enjoy your film, and then you get a fantastic response.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Johnson, you worked on animation on this film. It sounds like there was a tremendous amount of animation. Why?
I guess it's because it helps a little bit more. It gives it like a different tone. I don't know.
So how does it work with the film?
Well, there are transitions, and if the film didn't have transitions, like, it would just be a little awkward. Like, at least a little bit awkward.
Do you think that films actually need transitions then?
I guess some films do, others don't, I guess.
Is this something that you want to pursue when you graduate?
Maybe. Or maybe I would like to be a graphic designer, or maybe a fashion designer.
So it's all to do with art?
Yes.
So when you say you did the writing, what did you have to write? Because it's a documentary. How does writing play into a documentary?
Well, when you do writing, you can't just take facts and put it on a page. You have to add some sort of character to it. You have to have personality, charisma. You can't just, spout facts off. You have to have some sort of flow and some, order that it goes in that is appealing to the audience.
And what else did you do? You said you did that and then you did the narration?
I did the audio work for the narration. So I had over here Atticus Taylor. He was the person who voiced it, and then after we recorded it, I edited it so it was a little cleaner, split it up, and so on and so on.
Are you happy with the finished product?
Oh, absolutely. It's an amazing product. I'm very happy and very proud of the work that the whole team did. It's really amazing.
And is this something that you would like to pursue as a career going forward?
Absolutely. I think when you do something that you love, no matter how difficult it becomes, it's not really work because you enjoy it. Because if you have fun, you never work a day in your life.
The documentary is called Redirection. It's about teen court. Why redirection? Who wants to take that question?
I think my boy Atticus here.
I was not a part of the naming process, so I apologize. I cannot answer that question.
But do you think it's a good name for this film? Because it is about redirecting young people's lives.
Yeah, I do think it's a very fitting name for the film, Redirection, yeah. Taking that.
Come a little closer. You're moving away. Good.
Right, sorry.
Perfect. Tell me what you did on the film and why.
For the film, I narrated because of my my voice, and all right. For the film, I narrated because of my my deep voice. I usually narrate things for our program. I also animated and helped with the script, and I animated because I'm fairly decent at it. I think, I like to think, and so yeah.
Do you want a future in film?
Oh yeah, I'm considering a future in filmmaking. It's very interesting. I love it.
As somebody that was multitasking during this film, do you feel that it's important for someone that's going into the film industry to learn all different aspects by being hands-on so that when they do eventually work in whatever capacity, they understand how the sausage is made?
I think that you definitely need to know pretty much all aspects of filmmaking if you want to get into it, because every single person there is doing a job that is extremely important, and if one person is not doing their job, that film is not going to get made, and you cannot respect that unless you know exactly what they're doing. So.
Thank you, Atticus. I would ask you the same question about doing different things. How many different things did you do on this film?
So I was basically sort of one of the many animators on the project. Did a lot of the special effects and animation, just like my friend here, but except I'm more of a more part of the team. So yeah. And I think a lot of aspects, you know, like you said, are very important, especially when you're doing filmmaking and also animation at the same time, or at least combining the two genres. So yeah, I would say that's pretty good.
And what do you think of your finished product?
I think it's quite amazing, and I hope everybody enjoys it. So,
yeah. I think the same thing. I love it, and I hope everyone enjoys it as much as I do.
So we have animation in tandem here. You two were both animators, yes?
Yes. Yep.
And you both speak at the same time, too. That's good. So tell me, did you do the same things when you were doing animation?
Well, we did some of the same things, like transitions and stuff, but we also each had like separate little things to do as well.
What was your specialty?
I did just pretty much anything that they needed to, for graphics and animation. I did pop-ups, little graphics.
Can you explain what pop-ups are? Because people out there in non-movie land don't know.
It's pretty much what it sounds like, just a graphic that pops up, like it moves, you know, like it pops in.
Could a graphic be more than just a letter?
Yeah. Like an image. We had some things that were like we used cartoony type things to help with the narration and descriptions of certain things in the document.
So it sounds like the whole film was very animation heavy.
For the most part, yes. There was a lot of work done on animation, and though not all of it was used, we still used a good majority of it in it. So yes, there was a lot of animation.
But with having so many different people working on it, is there still a sense of continuity in the film?
There definitely is. We make sure to follow a very strict kind of storyline and schedule for the film. So. Yeah.
Yeah, how was what you did at Booker High School different with the animation to just something that you might see in a standard film? Either one of you can take it.
Well, in our case, we all kind of worked together to make sure everything fit, and we all kind of collaborated. We were able to put together like different parts of what we had learned throughout our years at Booker High School, and put them together to make the film. So it was a very like skill-oriented project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stefan Campagna is an attorney, and he was involved in this particular documentary, Redirection. But he has an interesting backstory because he's not just an attorney with Teen Court, but he was also actually, what would you say?
Well, I'm a Teen Court alumni.
A Teen Court alumni. He actually went through the Teen Court system.
That's right. At 16, I was arrested, charged with several felonies, and was lucky enough to get into Teen Court. Now I serve as an attorney here in Sarasota, actually practicing criminal defense and family law, and working quite a bit with Teen Court myself.
How do you feel that having been through the system yourself on the other end of things as a youngster helps you to connect with young people and to represent them?
Well, first, it allows me to understand the system from multiple points of view. I do know what it's like to be handcuffed and to go through the entire court process. But also it allows me just to relate to the kids who I work with or the kids who I work for, just to let them know, hey, we've all been there, at least everybody in the room that they and I are in, and that it's not the end of the line. It's not even a stop sign, it's a speed bump.
Do you think that the way that you work within the court system, as opposed to someone that hasn't been there and gone through it, when you're working with teenagers works very differently?
I think so. I mean, I hope so. I hope I can provide a little bit more counsel, a little bit more mentorship, but also, I understand that the best interest of my client sometimes isn't to fight. It's to work with the state or work with the court and get my client perhaps the treatment that they need. Just do whatever I can to prevent them from being back there again.
Do you feel that this helps to keep young people from reoffending?
I think so. It worked for me, and it works for about 90% of the kids who go through Teen Court. Our recidivism rate is barely double digits, if it is even double digits, as opposed to every other kid who goes through criminal court seems to be back.
How do you decide which children or which young people in our community get to go to Teen Court? Who are the moving parts that make those decisions?
Sure. Well, if it were up to me, I think every kid would get to go through. But it's a combination of the prosecuting attorneys, the state, the judges, law enforcement officers. There are a lot of factors that do go into it. And there's possible legislation currently which might restrict that even further and exclude a lot more children. And we're trying to prevent that from happening, and to keep it where it is now, to let the community and those of us who are involved, on the front lines, try and make that decision. And once again, try and get as many kids as possible into Teen Court as opposed to criminal court.
Do you hope that this is something that branches out to more places than just Sarasota?
Oh, I do, and it has. We're in. There are teen or youth courts in 38 different states right now. I actually serve as our program administrator for our national association. And I can tell you there is a strong presence in a lot of different states. Not as strong as it needs to be. Even within the state of Florida, we can improve.
How do you hope that people that see this documentary tonight react to it, and what do you hope that they take away from it?
Well, I hope they react positively. Hopefully I didn't do too terribly. I don't scare too many people off. But I hope they react positively. I hope the takeaway is that whether it be Teen Court or even any other programs, that these are kids. When it comes down to it, they are not hardened criminals. They're individuals who just need some help. And if we can provide that help, whether it be through Teen Court or any other program, then we need to do that.
Perhaps one of the most important lessons that we learn from documentaries like Redirection, and in particular Redirection, is that young people deserve opportunity. And they deserve to be treated as young people, because young people can definitely turn things around. But perhaps it's a lesson for all of us that if given another way to do things, and also to be able to be given a sentence where maybe you're out there doing community service or just a detention or learning from that we can grow and get better. And the rate of recidivism is down. So reporting to you from the Sarasota Film Festival for METV, I'm Alex Redmond.